Okay. Recording has started.
Okay.
You start, Lady Bennett.
Yes, well, thank you for freeing your time to discuss the matter at hand. The trade mission that we discussed, the possibilities. We had a talk with our authority, the International Trade Authority, CETA, and wanted to know what were the requirements we had to consider when starting off the trade mission, starting off the planning, what our partners from African Fuse needed to take into consideration. Before that, we shared the information from the African Fuse with them, the plans at hand, and we wanted to know if there were any specific rules, import-export rules from visiting countries that we had to require before starting off with the planning. So we share this information with you, and we should discuss now what are the possibilities, because the time frame that we first discussed, I think in one of the first meetings, was within 2 to 3 months. But the way it seems now, it would take some time to plan this and to make sure to give every partner the opportunity to prepare well. We had in mind to do this in the second quarter of 2026 because there's a lot that comes with the planning of a trade mission. So that's the time frame that we focus on. Yeah, so if you can share with us your thoughts on that and the thoughts on the requirement that we shared with Sita.
Thank you so very much. I'm so happy to see you. You look lovely. And Nana, so do you. It's always a joy to see each other across the distance. I have been working continuously on this project, and I'm so delighted that you have been working so hard as well in Suriname. I know that our Ghanaian counterparty have been working very closely on this project. Just last week, Nana Ochulate was liaising with the Ministry of Trade in Ghana, and they asked us to send them a report of our last meeting. This is what we did and completed just a few days ago. So first of all, I think the progress that we have achieved is that both Suriname government and Ghanaian government have agreed to have a meeting. So that is a great achievement. Not only are they meeting, they are signing a new contract of this relationship. They will be meeting in Dominican Republic, from what I understood from the report that Nana Otu gave me. Nana, if I am wrong, please do correct me. You're the one who have been talking to the ministries of trade and transportation and international affairs. I will yield to you so that you can give us some feedback in that regard before we go back to the brilliant idea that Lady Maripol proposed. So Nana, I yield to you. Could you? Nana Otu is the president of African Views in Ghana. Nana, please. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone on board. And thank you, Dr. Wale, for your hard work and all members who are working hard on this project. My name is Nana Otulate, Akomuhene of Boma, and at the same time, the president of African Views Ghana branch. Yeah, concerning direct flight from Suriname to Ghana, that we've been working on it for some time now. Only last week, I was able to visit the Ghana Office of Transportation, and then they told me that there's going to be a signing of the agreement between Ghana-Suriname, direct flight in the Dominican Republic on the 8th of November, which I think is already signed according to what they told me.
That was last Friday.
So I'm happy Dr. Wale is still working on it to know whether the agreement is signed or not. I even tried to connect. I went to Agbanato's office, Edward, and I did not meet him last week because I wanted him to do everything possible to connect some of us to be part of the signing of the agreement in Dominican Republic. But I could not get him. I could not get hold of him. I think he's traveled. I don't know whether they went to sign. That's why I cannot get him physically to discuss matters with him. Even today, I tried calling him several times and his phone did not go through, but I've sent him messages, which I'll follow up and know what exactly is going on. According to the date he gave me, whether they've signed or not, I'll follow up and know what is going on. But I think wherever it will be signed, whether it is signed in Ghana or it is signed in Suriname or any part of the world, it means we are making headway. That gives us the upper hand to organize ourselves to join the the force at which Dr. Wale is leading, so that it will come to pass successfully on this flight. Because we all know that traveling to Suriname or from Suriname to Ghana, where instead of just 6 hours flight, it takes us sometimes 2 days to get there, which is not convenient for we at all. So whatever we do to get this direct flight to Ghana and Suriname, we will do it until one day we become successful and then we all laugh. This is what I can say. We will not stop it today until we are successful. Then we can also relax and then make another way for our own benefits.
Thank you very much, Nana. So going back to Lady Maripo's question, first of all, I think it's a brilliant idea to do this trade conference, but I'm thinking this is what's probably going to be very useful for everybody, that including the conference, why don't we do a trade expo in Suriname? Why don't we do a trade expo, a trade summit with an expo in Suriname? Because that would give us the breadth and scope of the kind of trades that could be facilitated through this opportunity. In this way, we can invite the airlines, we can invite the ship lines, we can invite all kinds of businesses and so on and so forth. They can actually come and be present with their exhibitions, and we can begin to piece this together. This is something that Suriname itself will see, and the government will recognize the importance of this project. Now, you ask for a list of these firms. Now, these are things that we are going to do, provide a list. But first of all, we need to structure what we want and how we can invite them and the role that they will play, where this is going to take place. So you can imagine this is going to take quite some planning. But it's a fantastic opportunity. The idea, I think, is stellar. It's very brilliant to do something like this. Because like you said, we could put trade forward, right? So that the government can see that there is an opportunity here. So we will provide a list. We will begin to curate a list is what's going to happen. We'll begin to curate a list of companies that we know are interested in trading with Suriname, as well as you will be doing your part in Suriname to get companies in Suriname who are willing to trade, whether export, whether import, whatever the case may be, whether manufacturing, all of those things. We can begin to strategize and curate this list, as well as design this expo and conference or summit, whatever we want to do, whether we're going to have speakers, presenters, all of those things. I think, like you said, we can get this done by the middle of 2026. I'm very confident with that.
Yes, let's say July 2026, maybe the beginning of August. Because for us, it's also important to know, like you mentioned, what type of companies and what sectors are interested in dealing with Suriname companies right now in this time frame. And also very important.
You're frozen a little bit. Dear Miss Van Hetten, you are frozen. Okay, I think there's a technical glitch there.
We defined this
there you
financial
are.
structure.
Okay. Hang on, we missed whatever you might have said in the last 30 seconds because your video was frozen, so we couldn't hear anything. Can you please repeat yourself, please? We didn't hear you in the last 45 seconds because your video was frozen. Are you able to speak again?
Okay.
Okay. I think.
Okay.
Okay.
I mentioned official. Sound right? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. I mentioned that it's not only the event you need to take into consideration because it's not just 2 or 3 days. Most of the time, it's a 5-day activity. And also your time of traveling from Ghana to Suriname is at least 3 days. So this is like a 7 to 8 day operation. How are we going to finance this part? That was what I mentioned earlier in a nutshell.
Right. Okay, no, that makes perfect sense.
Did you catch that?
Yes. Now it makes sense. It makes sense. Yes, I got. Yeah,
okay.
we didn't hear that before because it was just frozen. That part exactly.
The internet
which is yeah, exactly. Which is the very important part of this of your comment. So yeah, of course. How are we going to fund this expo? I think the first thing is we need to design this expo so we'll know exactly how much it's going to cost us. We need to know where we're going to do it, how we're going to do it. We would raise money, first of all, from companies who want to participate. They will pay for their booths. They will pay for their participation. So there will be a subscription fee for companies who want to participate. This is tradition to expos anyway. We would also seek funding from different institutions and parties that have interest, including companies that wants to sponsor something like this, right? So we will plan that together. Let's make that a project between African Views and AGOB. So we will put our heads together, we'll design this properly, and we'll make it work. Okay. We will reach out to, companies also in the Netherlands who are very interested in this project. I've spoken to a few who are very excited about this project. especially Surinamese in diaspora in the Netherlands, who wants to see this happen. The same thing with the Ghana unions, but also whether it's banks, whether it's, shipping companies. There's a lot of interest here, including engineers and technical companies. So you can imagine the scope of what we are going to be dealing with. We're going to be looking at produce. We're going to be looking at products. We're going to be doing at constructions. We're going to be looking at a great deal of opportunity, that companies are going to be interested in coming to showcase what they can provide, because we are at a very important juncture. Suriname is in a perfect spot, perfect place in time itself, to attract this type of development opportunities. And this is why I'm so happy that you have taken this route, because this is where AGOB can really showcase what is necessary for Suriname, what the capacity of Suriname, and the probability of growth in Suriname. All of these things we can actually make palpable. We could show it, that people can actually see what is entailed here. So I think there's going to be a lot of interest from all over South America. I think there's going to be interest from North America. You just had an energy conference in Suriname. My very dear friend and colleague, what's her name?
Mrs. Mormon. Mrs. Mormon knows everything about it because she was at the heart of
She was there. Okay. Yes. Yeah. One of our colleagues runs this. She's very vested in this program, and she's done it a few times already. Dawn Simpson. Yeah. So she was also has been part of this discussion. I didn't ask her to come to this particular event, but she's very aware of this project, and she's very supportive of this project. She's brought so many investors together to talk about their interest in this project. So again, I think that we could, the first thing we need to do is let's design this concept, and then we can begin to reach out to companies, especially institutions that runs expos as well, who knows companies that will be interested in coming. And they'll come from all over the world. The point is to have Suriname prepare for that exhibition in a way that is world-class, in a way that this is a great opportunity to showcase Suriname to all these people who are going to be coming from international regions across the world to come to Suriname. This requires a lot of planning. I think it's time for us to do that. So we'll also we have to get the government of Suriname involved in this. We've got the Trade Ministry of Suriname involved in this. Of course, Ghana for sure. We want this, again, Suriname government and Ghanaian government to be vital and present significantly at this conference. We need to determine how much time it's going to take us. Like you mentioned, how long it's going to take them to travel. That we shouldn't be concerned too much about. What we should be concerned about is how they're going to bring all their products or whatever it is that they want to exhibit to Suriname. If there's a space in Suriname that we could actually do this type of thing, I'm sure Suriname has a place for this type of expo to occur. I've seen some of the venues, but I'm sure you have lots more that I don't even know about. So this would be something that you would do on your side. We have to coordinate their lodging, their hotels, or where they're going to go. We have to curate some of the tourism that we're going to show to them. So look, this is a fantastic opportunity also to raise funds as well as awareness for this project. I think it's going to be of great benefit to AGOB, and I think it's going to be of great benefit to AV, as well as both capital countries, main countries involved in this project. So we will, once we curate it and we have a precise plan, as well as a budget in place, we'll begin to reach out to various institutions, as well as companies that we want to invite to this. And it'd be good to get both Ghanaian and Surinamese government support. That would be part of the letters that we are going to have in place to begin to reach out to all these various companies and institutions that we want to invite to take part in this. Thank you. So I hope you see the vision as we expound it. We have Honorable Samad here with us, who has traveled to Suriname a few times on a trade mission showcasing cultural products. So cultural product is one of the sector that we're going to also focus on because there's so much in that area. Again, you can begin to see the various sectors. So we won't per se focus on one particular sector. I think we will, as we can. You can imagine how many meetings that we are going to have from AGOB and AV to make sure that we reach out to every industry and sector that we think are necessary to be part of this expo, part of this conference, and also those who are going to speak. How are we going to accommodate them? How are we going to run the whole thing? How long it's going to take? How long we want, I would say at least 1 week program, at least, where we could have 5 days of exhibition and 2 days of relaxation, tourism, sightseeing. There's so much of that in Suriname. This will be really good and very, very, I see the success of it. And we're going to look both locally and internationally, those who can support this. What do you think?
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is a good idea. We have to do something like a fair, like you say, expo in Suriname, and this is going to be a very, very historical event, and all of us need to support it. And also let the media know what is going on and the companies in different countries, which we can also let them know and support, will help us. Once we have a vibrant person representing us in Suriname, it will help us to move faster and also move in confidence. This is what I can say.
Okay. Dr. Wale, you mentioned that there are various companies interested in Suriname
Of course.
especially for the connection with the Afro group. Can you maybe give us afterwards, send us a list or links of businesses that would easily connect with the Afro group, with Afro businesses, and then from there on we can plan further, because it is good for Suriname and Ghana to connect, yes, on a broader scale, and we have taken some time into consideration, but most importantly, the fundament, AHOP doesn't want to miss the direct connection with African Ghanaian entrepreneurs. So that at hand, because that's how it all started, for the two organizations to connect. And then we would invite more companies, Surinamese and Ghanaian companies, to connect. So if from the basis we could have an idea of what type of companies, I'm just thinking on the top of well, not on the top of my head, but for instance, if there is maybe an institution of African architecture that can connect with construction entrepreneurs from AHOP, for instance. So if we have an idea what type of sectors, then we can connect with CETA and we can plan from there forth, and then open up for more sectors, so to speak. But the initial was the contact between the foundations, between the Afro Entrepreneur Suriname and the Ghanaian Suriname, Entrepreneur Suriname, and from there forth.
Thank you again.
I think Ms. Mormon wants to say something. Ms. Mormon, you were saying something? I think Ms. Mormon was I thought I heard her speak. That's fine. You can proceed.
Okay. Yeah, I saw Lady Sherida earlier as well. I'm not sure if she's still here. Um, okay, so first of all, thank you again for that deduction. But I don't think that's where we're going to start. Because the first step is to have a clear agreement between African Views and AGOB. Okay. We are not going to ask you for the list of the companies that you have in Suriname. That's your resource and that's your asset. And the same thing with the international companies that we are going to be inviting, the list that we have. We are not going to share that ahead. It's not possible. It's not even something, you don't ask us that. Okay. You will know them. You will see the list when the time is right. Okay. Because they will be invited to come. You see, we have to print out the list of companies. But before we even get to the printing and of all the marketing material, promotion, etc., we'll have access to all of that. But that's not where we should start. I think the first thing we need to start with is for us to have a clear agreement. We AGOB and AV, are going to sign an agreement about how we want to go about this, the role that we're each going to play, and make sure that we can fulfill those roles, right? So once that is established, then we will design the program. And by designing the program, we will determine the cost of the program. Having determined the cost of the program, we will then move from all of the sites how we're going to raise money for the program. Because even raising money for the program is already started the operation of the program that we want to achieve. Because that in itself, whether we're going to outsource it, whether we're going to do it in-house, whatever the case may be, that in itself is a business on its own. So you can begin to understand the layers of necessity. You will have the responsibility of, first of all, looking at your resources, the companies that are currently with you and the companies that are not even with you, but you think should be with you, you're able to reach out to them. So this is, again, a fantastic opportunity to expand AGOB's database, right, for outreach, etc. And through that, we will look at the various sectors that you have. We'll see the sectors that you don't have, right, and we'll be doing the same thing on companies that are interested in Suriname. Now, for them to be interested in Suriname, they will need to know the resources of Suriname. They will need to know the rules of business in Suriname. They need to know taxation, how long it takes to establish a business, what are the requirements, all of those things. We will have this information, okay? We will have this information. And it is with this information that we're going to reach out to these various companies and for them to sign up and say they want to participate in this expo. So we have to make Suriname also very attractive to them. Now, the idea of the straight corridor between Ghana and Suriname is already very attractive to a lot of people. But you can imagine now the steps that we need to take. So I think let's take it one step at a time. The first focus for us should be designing how AV and AGOB are going to work together. We're not going to ask for your list. Please don't ask for our list right now. That's going to come up. We're going to both present the list.
I have to comment on that. Oh,
yes, please.
Okay. Well, to the information we sent earlier was directly from our International Trade Authority. And to continue organizing the trade mission, there are specific requirements of the type of sectors that are interested.
Absolutely.
So if we proceed in any way, that is the information we need to provide in order to be able to come to an agreement, a written agreement.
I agree. And you mentioned, you said sector. Yes, of course. These are the things we could provide. You should provide sector. You should provide industry. We will provide sector and industry as well. This is something we'll determine together. We'll look at the sector, but the companies to fill in those sector is not something that we can provide ahead. First of all, even if we have a list of companies right now, we don't know if those companies want to participate in this particular conference or expo. We have to sell them the idea of participating in the expo, and then we'll have those who are going to sign up. So I think our step again is to understand what we want to do, and then we'll determine the sectors that are important. There are some sectors that we don't even thinking about that would come into view, right? So we'll look at the sectors and we'll begin to curate the sectors that we have, especially we have sector, the industry that we want to reach out to. And don't forget also the missions, the bilateral, the governments exactly that we want involved in this project, all of those that we have to reach out to. So these are things that we need to do, but not a list of companies. It'll be, that's it's not realistic. You know what I mean? It's not realistic.
That is for us the first step to be able to get the International Trade
I don't agree with that.
to
I'm
agree
sorry.
with
I think that's a mistake. The list of company and we're going to get descriptions. We're going to get all that information.
different type of sectors.
But that's not where we begin.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Excuse
sectors
me.
and the industries are important.
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
We are talking about two different things. The first one is the expo, and the other one is the trade, and for the invitation from the government. That from the government, we need to list some companies from your part that are coming to in the delegation that have the meeting with our government. That is the difference. That of the expo, we know we have to wait till you get everything done. But from the government side, for the meeting with the government, when you come in the second part of next year, then we need a list of companies, of business partners that will join the meeting.
Okay, I think, okay. You're right. I think we are saying different things. First of all, when it comes to this bilateral connection, this is government to government. We've talked about the Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Transportation, and I think Ministry of International Affairs. All of those are bilateral connections. They're already having their meetings. Like we said, maybe they already met in DR and they already signed this contract because that's a plan that they had. I'm not sure if that already occurred, but we'll get to know in the next few days. That's something that they are going to do on their own, has very little to do with what we are talking about. What we're talking about now, again, is if we want to do it, having an expo, right, a trade fair, to showcase companies that will be interested or that think they could participate, benefit, and take part in this process of the direct connection between Ghana-Suriname trade corridors. Now, that's really the opportunity. And again, we're talking about Ghana serving as a hub and Suriname serving as a hub. That means that we're talking about the whole region. This means that, I hope you're seeing what I'm saying. So that means that we want to be able to do an expo of various companies that want to participate in that exhibition that says we can benefit from this connection if it happens. This is our business. This is the kind of things we want to contribute. That's what business will do. This is the kind of business that we have. And so now we say, this is the kind of business that we have. We like to trade and, they present, this is what trade fairs are for. And so I think starting with a list of company really misses the point. It's not a point. What we need to do right now is to first of all, come up with a vision of how this could happen successfully, right? And also how we are going to work together. We need to firm that. So what you're saying right now is that you give us the list that you have, and then we can decide if we want to move further. We're not going to do that. That's a waste of both our times. Of course, I'm not asking you to give me the list of companies that you have in Suriname, so we know the kind of companies that we want to connect with them. But we're not doing that. That's not even fair to ask. It's just not the way business works. That's your resources. You keep it. We believe as AGOB, you have Afro businesses in Suriname. A list of that. Obviously, this opportunity is not only for Afro businesses. It's for the entirety of Suriname, the entirety of the region, the entirety of the continent. And we are looking on our side, the expansion of various companies from around the world who want to participate in this project. So we're going to be reaching out to the entire world that this is the plan, this is the concept, this is what's going to cost companies to participate. That's when we'll have a list of people, companies that are already signed up. And you will see that list even in real time as it occurs. But the first thing is to know the sector and the industry so we know the type of companies that we can begin to reach out to, right? So the government issues, that's not our concern. The government to government, they will deal with that. We already did a lot of work on that. And we're already successful because now they're talking to each other. They just don't know the scope yet. And I'm sure they do not know the scope. Okay? Because some people are talking about flights and some people are, no, it's not just about flight. We're talking about a great deal of things that even to make the flight work. All of those things have to be in place. All right? This expo we're talking about, we have to be able to have airlines come to the expo. We have to be able to have cargo come to this expo. We have to be able to have engineers come to this expo, architects come to this expo, medicines, medical, whatever it is, all of those different sectors, different industry has to come to the table. We're talking about products, agriculture, forestry, mining, all of those things. We'll have the various sectors, and within each of the sector are tons of companies. If we do this right, we would be in control of the companies that we can manage, because that means that we would have more people interested, more companies interested than we can actually absorb, that we can actually contain. So, and that's a good thing, because that's where we want it to go. So the first thing is to recognize what we're talking about here. If that's the route we want to go, which I think is a very, very good route, because it would make everybody see the opportunity that's been presented. Right?
So if I understand you right, you prefer to have an expo first before we have the next step to the government?
No, the government are already in talks. We already did that. The government are already in talks. They're already connected. You understand? Okay. So the Trade Ministry of Suriname and Trade Ministry of Ghana are already connected. They're talking and they're signing contracts. I don't know what contract they're signing, but they don't have the vision that we have now, because they haven't had these meetings, this many meetings. Maybe they do. I don't know, but I don't think they because this is coming from us. We have this vision. We've been working on this vision for a long time. We've developed it. So at some point, we need to show them the vision that we have. And the best way to convince government is with this type of expo, because the government will see the presence of these companies who are interested in this project. That's when it will ring in for them. Okay? So that would allow them to determine the scope of how they want to scale this project. Do we want to build a new port? Do we want to build just one? How big should that port be? How is our people going to take, how is it going to benefit us? All of those things has to be communicated clearly and not just, also demonstrated. And this will be demonstrated by the presence of the company. That's why Trade Expo is really the perfect move for this project.
Yeah, okay. I agree with the expo. A trade expo, because that was also one of my thoughts, but I thought we will have the meeting first on the government level, so you can have all the credit that you need to start doing business here.
Yeah, so the government again are already talking. They're already talking between themselves. That's what they do. They are bilateral discussions. So the government of Suriname will talk to the people of Suriname. They will talk to AGOB. They'll talk to you. And that's based on the type of businesses that you want to do with the government, or what you want the government to do for you. All right. So that's a different thing. And this government will talk to the government of other countries. The government of other countries will talk about the kind of businesses that they want to do. Also, that Suriname would do in their country, and they would do in Suriname, right? So now we have Ghana. So we're talking about Ghana and Suriname. This is the main core countries, because they are going to serve as the direct connection, right? That's the basis. That's the onset. That's, of course, things can develop from there, but that's exactly where we want to start. So now, first of all, understanding that what we are doing is it's so important because it's going to shift it's going to shift the balance of trade in the world. I hope you guys see what we're saying. It's going to shift the balance of trade. The balance of trade has been rerouted in many ways, but no direct South-South cooperation, which is so necessary, which is what everybody has been waiting for a long time. So the way we're doing it, we have all the tools to do it properly. So we may need to sit down and think back and really understand the concept here. But the government of Suriname asking for companies right now is jumping. This is not the time. We're not going to start there. Or AGOB asking for companies. That's not where we're going to start. AGOB knows his company, knows his sectors who are registered with them. You may need to identify other sectors and companies that should benefit from this, right? And the international arena will do the same thing. We'll even get the UN involved. Okay, so
Mr. Will,
yeah.
Important is that at least we know the number of companies that will join the meeting with the government. And what about the expo? I know that it's a concept that we are creating now to set up a expo.
I think I understand what you're saying now. So you're saying that we should set up a meeting with the government where we will have some companies join that meeting. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So if that's the case, okay, now it makes sense what you're saying. Okay, now I think I understand what you're saying. So
because just a minute, because I expect from you, from what I hear from Lloyd, I expect at least that the delegation, when they come to Suriname, at least 20 companies of business partners will come over here to have that meeting with the government. So the government will see and agree directly to you all the business that you will start here. Because what I said in the meeting with the government is that also we will go for partnerships. People that from Ghana and from your side that are willing to invest in partnerships in Suriname also. So that it will be let's say a balance of 50-50. People are exporting to Ghana and Ghana exporting to Suriname. We are doing business together, not only at tourism, but also on the other stuff that you already explained before.
Thank you very much, Brother Alfredo. I understand what you're saying now.
Hello, Doctor. Can I come in? Can I come in here?
Yes, Mr. Samad. Hi, Samad.
Okay.
Yes, please, of course.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm very happy to be part of the meeting, although today my network have been jumping and up and down, but it's good. But I just want them to understand what you are explaining. You see, maybe now for the meeting should be like maybe now is the first meeting. Some few companies, one or two companies, or the organizers are going to meet the government and do this. But later, when we are going to do the fair, the real fair, that's where most of the company will be registered, and they are those companies who are coming to meet the Surinamese companies where they will do business to business agreement and other things. And earlier you were explaining about me. Actually, then my line was not good. I even wanted to come in that time to let them know I've been to Suriname several times. Even now that I am sitting, I have a machine that is in Suriname that we want to train Surinamese how to do kente. That machine is now in Suriname. We have gotten some companies that they are partnering us. We are coming to do how to do this oil plantation and other things. So there are a lot. For the beginning, the negotiation meeting between company and government, it should be not like 20 companies too much for now. But when it's time for the fair, if you can get more than 100 or 200 companies, thank you. Let me just learn from here, then we can continue. Then I'll come back. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my
Anybody
man.
want to add to that? Anybody want to add to that on any side, whether it's Suriname or Ghana, before I share my thoughts on that? Anybody else want to contribute to that? All right. So
Yes,
okay.
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm very aware of that.
Can
That's exactly what I'm saying. So there's so many companies that have made that effort, but I want us to look beyond that. So this meeting that we want to have with the government, the meeting really, the importance of this meeting is really bilateral. That should be our concern. The only reason we'll have companies there is to support this bilateral meeting, right? The only reason, that's the only
Yes.
reason. Okay, to support this government to government agreement to work together. That's it. That's the first step. That's the foundation of everything. All right. So that is the foundation of everything. And again, fortunately, they have already there's all the green lights are there. Right. There's so many contracts or agreements between governments that's going to happen as time progresses. So that's why I think we have really hit the nail on the head by deciding to do this trade fair first. Our focus now should be the trade fair. It is at this trade fair that the meeting, the extra meeting, multilateral meetings will occur with government of Suriname and government of Ghana. That's what I'm trying to say. We are killing 10 birds with one stone by doing this trade fair. Because it is at that trade fair that all the various institutions, all the various government ministries can be invited. They have something important that they come into. We can invite other governments of other countries who will support this to that particular program. And they will be able to see in real time what they are vested in. Because think about it. When governments see that companies are coming, government are going to be interested. When companies that government are supportive, they are coming too. So that's why this is the really important next step. Having a meeting with a group of, between, say, Ghana and Suriname, and then inviting some companies, that was the plan before. Yes, and that was necessary. But both government of Suriname and Ghana have decided to do this on their own. They made that decision, not us. All right? Because we asked if we could go and meet them in DR to support them. They didn't want. They said no. Don't. They didn't answer. Like Nana Otu explained here, they wanted to meet together in Suriname, talk about this, and say, they signed the agreement that they will work together. They already have. We noticed that they already have several agreements on paper that they will want to work together. So that's all we need right now. That there is a green light to work together. There's no problem whatsoever in working together between Suriname and Ghana. That's why it is so uniquely important, this situation, to have this corridor between Ghana and Suriname. Okay, so we are capitalizing on that right now. Okay, and again, we've worked very hard on this. Just remember, for several years, we've been working on this project in various ways. So now we are at the juncture that the next step would be, again, bringing the company to the table. Bringing the company to the table is no longer dependent on the government coming together. We are doing it so that the governments can see the opportunity that is at hand for themselves and for the people. Right? So
yes, Dr. Wale.
Yes, that's why I think we
Yeah.
should focus on this.
Okay. I think from the last conversation that we had, the last meeting, there are a few points that were added in this one after we send the information from our trade authority. I think within AGOB, we should have a talk on the exact route we are willing to take with African Fuse in order to come to an agreement. Because as well as you know, you have done some research on the possibilities between Suriname and Ghana. But we as Suriname and especially AGOB must consider the requirements that our government has. So I understand your point of view, but give us some time as the AHA board to discuss what is possible within the time frame.
terrific. That's exactly that, I think, is the right step forward. Now you have new information because the last time we spoke, that was a long time ago. Many things have happened. What we wanted to do is to bring these countries together, the governments together. They've already met, right? So we succeeded in that plan. So the question is, what is the next step? And the next step now from our side, I mean, think about this, it's really this step of now showing this government what is possible, right? And we can only do that by inviting these companies to come and showcase the product and say, we are interested, this is what we have, right? That's what expos are for, right?
Clear.
So, yeah, and we have them in
Yes.
Suriname, we have them everywhere. And so our job would be to design the program that they will come to and design the time and the frame and everything that we can possibly make it attractive for them to want to be in Suriname, to want to trade with Suriname, to love Surinamese, everything, right?
Well,
so that's our work.
That would not be a problem for the two
I know.
countries.
I know.
But we have to consider the right route to take. Our countries the governments just signed an agreement. Maybe we should take some time also to see what comes from that agreement, because there is still a few things that are not really clear for every organization. Maybe there are things that will benefit this trade mission. So I think within AGOB, we should take some time. Let's discuss it within the board, and then
Let me
we
say
will
something.
see what is the exact route.
Let me say something.
Take for the planning
One thing
next
I've
year.
learned about Surinamese, you guys are very hesitant and you're very cautious, which could be good sometimes, and sometimes could delay things. As we speak, Guyana is making effort, and to me, that is my only worry. That if Suriname drags its feet, Guyana will take this. Guyana is dealing directly with Nigeria.
Like the United States.
Nigeria is very agile country. They know how to do this business. Okay, so you cannot delay with that. I'm from Nigeria. I know that. Okay. And Guyana is a serious rival for Suriname. And also Brazil is backing the Nigerian move. You need to understand what we're saying here. That's why I want you to please rise to the occasion, because think about the risk. I want you to think about risks. Right? Look at the risk of, we don't know African views. Shall we deal with them? What is this? What is that? Who is this? Who's that? You could do all of that, KYC.
I think,
whatever.
honestly, I have to interrupt you there. I think we have passed that point by now.
Okay, thank you.
The key for us as AGOB is to consider, in order to reach an agreement on what the trade mission or the trade expo should look like, we should take the right steps.
Yes.
From the agreement signed between the two countries, they probably will more benefits will flow from that. We should take that into consideration. It's not about being hesitant, it's about taking the right steps. So please allow us the time to discuss this within the board, and then we will get back to you on the decision, what is the right route to take for the Trade Mission 2026.
I agree with you very, very much on that. I just received news that Suriname could not go and attend the meeting in DR. So yes. I am guessing that they have not signed this new agreement, even though they plan to do it. Okay, I have the report that the Ministry of Ghana asked for, and they told Nanao to verbally that they were going to go and do this in DR. But apparently the government of Suriname did not go to DR, so that didn't take place, which is fine. But one thing I wanted to say
You received this information just now?
Yes, just now.
Okay.
just now.
Okay. We will have to find out what was the reason and what it
Exactly.
means for the rest of the organization.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'd like you to consider
Okay.
that in your research or query or whatever you have to do, right? So,
Yes.
but one thing I want to
Okay.
say,
Mhm.
is that regardless of that process, where we are now in our thought process of actually moving to do an expo, I think brings everything together. Because when we decide to do this expo, they will come. Government of Suriname has to be present, and the government of Ghana will be present, as well as other entities, including the companies, etc. There will be a great deal of opportunity to begin to have all these agreements. Okay, we can plan towards that. I understand that you still have to do your process. Your due process is essentially, it's incredibly important. And we will wait for you, obviously, because that's the next step. You have to say, we can do this, let's do it. And this is how we see it being done. We could share ideas of, I could give you templates of how it's done. If you don't have it, I believe you do have it. But otherwise we could do this. Let me tell you,
Yes.
I saw this
Okay.
recently.
I have to be in another meeting in 30 minutes,
Okay. Okay.
but we will.
Okay. You're frozen again.
Yeah, I think the internet is disturbing.
Anyway, so I think we come to an agreement that AGOB is going to do some internal discussions, and you're going to come to um, some clarity about this next step. And you're also going to inquire with the Surinamese government where the process is of signing this agreement with Ghana, where it is at, and so on, what agreements actually on the table. For me, I don't think we should focus on flight alone. Flight won't do it. We need the cargo as well. So I think that's really my concern. And as I mentioned, this is a race, and we're in competition directly with Guyana and, on your end and South America, and in Nigeria, in Africa, West Africa, Ghana is in direct competition with Nigeria. It is very important to understand that in our effort. To me, that's the biggest concern. That is the biggest concern that I have. That's perhaps the only concern. And it would, we'll miss this point. And if that should happen, it'll be a tragedy, because this is the best connection that we can provide for the world today. Okay. This is
Yes, I'm
We
in.
are taking this into consideration. Yes.
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, I am. Thank you again so much, Mariposa. Thank you so much. I'm satisfied with this meeting. Anybody who wants to add anything, feel free to add to it. But once we decide to do this, there's going to be a lot of work. I just want us to know that there's going to be a whole lot of work. But the first thing is for us to decide it. You have to determine the location and the situation and the accommodation. I mean, there's a whole lot to do on the ground, and there's a whole lot to do internationally as well. So you'll see that there's a need to have the agreement between the two organizations and to decide how we're going to move forward. Thank you.
Yes,
Anybody else can add
definitely.
anything?
That is also the reason for the time frame we took into consideration. I think my colleague Happiness wanted to add something. Um, please send us the recording. I'm sorry, I have to go in another meeting just now.
Okay. Okay.
But I will discuss with my board members, and we will get back to you on that.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you. All right. We can excuse you. I will send you the recording. Anybody who wants to add anything, feel free before we adjourn.
Yes, also I think from AGOB we like to know, because we are a very young organization and we are in a growing process right now. So at least we want to know uh, how we will start and do the setup for the location. To do the fair is not a problem. We have several places where we can have the fair, but and also we have I think we have to add another meeting so we can discuss about the cost, the setup, and how we will organize everything. Because
All
for
right.
this meeting, it is not necessary to uh, put our heads together, because our chairman is not around, our financial and member is also not around. So everybody needs to be on board so we can have a good discussion about that.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Pinas. I agree that we have to both do our homeworks. And thank you also for mentioning this is not something you've done before, but this is something that is very important, so that we all ought to be doing, and it's perfect for where we are in the process here. So we have arrived at this juncture that this is a good next step to take. You have to see if that's something you want to do. I think it's a very important move, and we have to see how we can scale it, right? I don't think we're going to have problems with sponsorship, but you have to know that in order for us to come up with sponsorships or funding, we need a budget. We need to know how much this is going to cost. And the way we know how much it's going to cost is by actually having a general overview of what we want to do, okay, and how we want to do it, because that's all that's going to determine the cost, right? So what I would advise you to do is this: as a young organization, you need to know if they have done expos in Suriname before, and I'm sure they have. I am sure they have, because I remember the Indians did some expos a few years ago with all kinds of companies from India, with India World. So
yes, we did several already. Also, AGOB and a group of business did also some expos, small expo, mini expos already.
Okay.
Together with
Perfect.
other cultural groups. So we are into that. But
okay, very good.
Right now in my mind, I'm looking for the right location where we can attract enough people to visit the expo when it is that far.
Yes, I am sure people will come. We just really need to make sure it is of international standard. So we need to up our games. So let's because we're going to be having international companies, and they will pay for their stands or whatever participation or subscription that is required. The companies do that easily. And so we want to be able to do that. So think about all of that possibilities, and let's go do our homeworks, and then we'll call another meeting to determine where we are. And we plan towards July. Okay.
Yes, together with Miss Vanessa, I will check the cost for the rent for the place for at least 1 week, and the setup for all the stands, so we know we have a view from what the total budget will be in Suriname.
Let me share some
The
ideas
rest,
with you.
yeah.
What you already mentioned tells me that maybe this can go. We can improve that thought. I think the first step for you guys to do is to speak with Ministry of Trade of Suriname. I think that is the first step for you guys to do. You tell them this is what we have in mind to do. The Ministry of Trade will support you. It's logical that they support you. They could be the one to actually find a place, fund this project for you. So the first thing for you to do is to reach out to them. This is my opinion. You can do whatever you want. But if you do it that way, I think it would be helpful. I am sure it will be helpful. Try that. Talk to the board members and see if that's something that they agree with, because trying to do it on our own will not bring it to that international standard that is required, because you're doing this for Suriname. Why wouldn't the Trade Commission support you, right? So I think the next step is to reach out to the government, give them this plan. This is what we want to do. And I hope that they are, the worst they could do is they will try to steal the idea. Well, even if they do steal the idea, that's still beneficial for Surinamese, for the project that we want to do.
Yeah.
So I don't think they will steal it. I think, you present it properly to them in a way that they know that they need you. And that, obviously politicians will always try to see how they can benefit from this, how this is going to be their pet project, whatever the case may be. That's something you have to deal with on your side. And I hope you deal with it properly, because not only will you be protecting yourself,
what I like to do,
yeah.
I hope that in the coming month before Christmas, I will have a personal meeting with our president. Then I will do the request so she can give order to support us.
Excellent. That's an excellent move. That's the best thing I heard all day. Thank you very much. This is great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good work. All right. So,
I also suggest that I think the number of people that attend this meeting is quite impressive. And we with this number, we can also create a platform to contribute ideas and summarize ideas, and also make it a point of making a magazine. And then people who want to do adverts in these magazines, like industries, companies, also can support in another angle. So I don't know if Dr. Wale can help us. Dr. Pinas, I know you are also working hard, and people in Suriname and everybody on the platform. If you have our own platform to contribute ideas every day, I think it will help the whole idea. It will open a very big avenue. So let's think of
yes. Yes, and Lloyd mentioned your name already to me, and he sent me your number, so I have to contact you, but I was very busy all the time. So he asked me this morning if I contact you already. I told him, oh my God, Lloyd, I'm very busy, but I will not forget your king. He told me you're his king.
That's it. So you need to do that, because I also tried to contact you several times, but it didn't go through. So
most of the time I'm very deep in the rainforest. So most of the time the internet is not working there.
Okay. So I will expect your call this time so we can talk.
Yeah. I think this coming weekend I will stay where the internet is clear, so I will contact you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Mr. Kudus, good to see you. Do you have something? Don't forget to unmute. Do you have something to add to our discussion? You're still muted, so unmute first. Oh, there you go. Well, keep your camera on. Keep your camera on. We like to see your beautiful face.
Yes. Afternoon, everybody over there. We are already evening here. I think upon all the discussion, the only thing I would like to add is after the meeting of Mr. Pinas, we should know what is the need of the Suriname people, so that one will make us focus on how to work here to know some of the company we can select.
Sure, you will get it.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Exactly. Hi, Samad.
Okay, yes, thank you. Mr. Pinas, I'm happy
Yes,
to hear from you. And I was hearing you saying you are going to the rainforest of Suriname. I don't know if it's Brokopondo.
I lived there. I I
You live
live
in
there.
Brokopondo? Oh,
I'm living
wow.
in
I've been
Para.
there
I'm
before.
living in Para, but I
Para.
also have kids in Brokopondo.
Oh, you live
Okay,
in
okay. I've been to
Para.
Brokopondo before.
Hey, I was just
Wow.
speaking with the mayor of Para a few weeks ago.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
living
I
in
was in
Para,
Brokopondo.
so I'm a bushman.
Hmm.
I'm a
If you live in
bushman.
Para,
Okay, yes, yes,
Brother
yes. I
Pinas,
can
if you
see.
live in Para,
Yes,
The road to there
you
is
should
not
reach
easy.
out to the mayor of Para because he knows about this project and he could lend a good voice to it. Okay.
yes, and
Okay.
I had to talk with him 2 days ago.
Okay.
He is supposed to call me uncle also. He's Lloyd's nephew.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. So anyway, he's
Okay.
definitely reach out to
Okay.
him. He's very aware of this project. I had a meeting with him already, and he supports it. He also wants to speak to the president about it. So that's good.
yeah,
Okay, Mr. Dr. Wali, earlier I
Yes.
heard you talking about Guyana. It's true. Frankly, I heard more about Guyana and even have somebody with the Guyana aviation who said they are working hard on this kind of cooperation with Ghana. So Suriname should wake up because for me, Suriname is
Exactly.
like my home.
Yes. My
I
brothers in
have my
Suriname, they
tribe.
always
I
dragging
have
their
my
feet. I don't know what the
yes,
Netherlandish people,
yes,
what the Dutch did to my brothers.
yes.
They
I have
always dragging
yes.
their foot,
I have
their
my
feet.
yes.
Yeah,
I have my tribesmen in Suriname chambers, and even we even install one chief in Suriname. So
exactly.
that's why we are pushing hard so that this project, this hub, will be in Suriname, not Guyana. So please,
No, it'll be a
Surinamese, Mr.
tragedy.
Pinas,
It will be a
wake up.
tragedy if
Let's
Guyana
wake fast.
takes this
Yes,
and
yes,
Nigeria takes it. It would be a
yes,
tragedy. I'm telling you.
if it
I'm telling
depends
you.
yes,
on me,
yes. So let's
I will sign. If it depends on me,
yes.
I will sign in tomorrow. But we have different peoples
Yeah,
here working in Suriname, living in
Yes, yes.
Suriname, and
yeah,
also politics has a
Politics.
big finger in this thing,
that's
and that is
true.
It's
disturbing
true. It's true.
the development of the country.
Yes, it's true. Because when you say this, let me explain one thing to you about even the agreement, the air service agreement. You know that the new government that came, the old agreement, they have to write a new one. I was in charge. Even I gave them the contact how to contact our government so that they can change. They changed a new agreement, and even here too in Ghana, because of the new government, they have to change. They have to ask Suriname to change the agreement and address it to the new government. So that's what has delayed it now. But I didn't know. I was thinking all of them will be in Dominican Republic to sign. But this morning, today that we heard that Suriname was not in Dominican Republic, I was shocked. But I'm hoping they will sign because they have started signing some other things. So let's pray. And we too, we should make sure our network will work fast, will work smoothly so that we can achieve this our aim. Because you know this hub, when this hub started between Ghana and Suriname, I tell you, those going every route will pass through Ghana and Suriname to South America and North America. And it's very easy for our people. So please let's work this project very hard.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, like Dr. Wale earlier said, it is a competition, but also within the government, it is also a competition. People are running a
Yes.
one-man show also, and that is killing everything for the rest of the Suriname people.
It's true.
As long as we are together in one line, we will survive and we will win. But if everybody is thinking differently, how I can make a goal myself without giving the other guy a chance, and that is killing us. But we will go for it.
Thank you very
I
much.
said to my kids that as long as I'm alive, I will fight.
Who are those people coming here? With my technician, the AGOB. If I knew that, what were I would have already sit together.
All right.
But
right.
my colleague also told me that he understand your concerns. But we will have the talk in the board meeting. I hope this week or the beginning of next week we will have that also.
Okay.
So we will place that on table for the chairman. So we will go back to the Ministry of Trade so we can have that discussion again.
All right. Let me just mention one thing before we adjourn. Especially with for AGOB, you represent companies. You cannot waste 1 second. There's no time to idle. You have a huge responsibility to make a whole lot of things happen. You know the mentality or the sentiments of people in Suriname, and you know the conditions of the influence of politics in the lives of people in Suriname. Because you can really help move this forward. What I'm saying is, let us do our best. In specifically, you guys, do your best to move things faster. The last time we spoke, and for how long it took us to speak again, many things happened. And that's why there was this gap. In between. But let's hope that we don't have to wait that long anymore. So try to move faster, be swifter, be more agile in serving your organization as well as the people you represent, as well as the country Suriname. When you help Suriname, you help humanity. Okay, same thing for Ghana. Yeah. Thank you. I know lots of people have to leave, so do I. I want to thank you all. I will give last one to anybody. Nana, is there something you want to say before you leave?
Nana, Mr. Nana, are you already in Suriname?
Yeah.
For the Independent Day?
Yeah, I've been to Suriname before, but I think it's not for the Independent Day. And I think the way we have contributed, I'm very, very happy, and we all support this in a form of prayer for this event will come and pass successfully, that we will be success in every area of what we are doing. Thank you so much. This is what I can say now.
Thank you. All right then. Okay, we'll wait for your response, Mr. Pinas. So please move it on your side, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. I will send the video once it's ready. Okay. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye.